Alright, back at it again. So, let's see. Been pruning on this bald cypress with canopy a little bit. I gotta trim a little bit over here, over the fence on the neighbor's side in there. But I was making space here because I'm removing this tulip poplar. It's a hog. So, yeah. I'm removing that. So I'm gonna get on to clearing some space, taking some lower limbs, and then I'll climb up into it and we'll rig some stuff out. It'll be fun. Stay tuned. So this will be the first time using this since I fixed it. So let's see if it works. Okay, on this tree, the trickiest part I think about the whole tree is the fact that it was butted up next to the bald cypress. They both grew at similar heights, so it forced the tulip poplar to do the majority of its growth to the right and over the house. So I would say 75% of the top grows directly out over the house and is a little bit out of the camera view here, but it's there. And then on top of it, there's kind of a little bit of a backstory for how I even ended up here, and I'll get into that in a second. After multiple trips here, time, money wasted, we did come to an agreement. She says, sounds great, can you do it? Okay, do it the day after Labor Day. I said, oh, that's over a month away, but no big deal. Well, you'll be here on time, right? She says. I expect people to keep their word and be on time, and you know, if you can't, let me know. And I said, no, you're this far out, I don't see why a guy would have an issue. A month or over later, I show up on Labor Day just to check in the day before. She lets me know that, oh, I there's a different guy gonna do it. Okay, why wouldn't you call? But okay, well, that is what it is. But that wasn't it. It gets better. When this kind of stuff happens, you can't get mad, you can't get aggravated, let it mess with you. There's no use crying over spilled milk. It just is what it is. I moved on instantly, but wouldn't you know it, about 3 weeks later that phone rang and I answered. She introduced herself again as if we had never talked. She said, are you the tree guy? Yeah, you were. I said, yeah, I know. What's up? She says, you know what? I'm going to give you that job. I said, what? Hold up. No. Hang on. Explain why. So we got a bunch trimmed up already, and I'm headed up. We set the bollard up, I set my climbing system up. We're rocking and ready to go. I got the Ultra Sling Alaska ring and a large X ring, should be enough. There's a 5/8 bull rope and that GB bollard, and that should do the job. Now I'm climbing on the zag wrench on the Poison Moon. Okay, we're up in this. I think I'm gonna work this side up real quick and have it open and do some solo rigging while Jake's loading. So I'm gonna rig out like this top here, and that one there, probably that one below it, and I'll use like stubs for some friction. But yeah, made a little spot for you guys. We'll put you there and I'll show you. Okay, so I'm hooked up to that part of that top, and then I'll do this part separate. But here's the rigging point. Goes back through that fork there, and it goes down goes across that little fork and then hooked onto my belt so I can lower it myself. So here we go. So just to let you know, like calling me and being like, I'm gonna give it to you, it's not gonna work. We need some more backstory, and I'll get into that. But we'll show a little bit of this rigging right here, and I got the crap scared out of me right here. Oh my God, that scared the heck out of me. Okay, so where was I? She had called and immediately doesn't say much other than, I'm gonna give it to you. Like I'm just gonna be so grateful and just, oh yes ma'am. And anybody, I feel like that me personally, if I look at something and it's more than, you know, a week from that point, I can't like honor what I said. I need to go back and reinspect and make sure nothing has changed. So that's the scenario I was in there. No matter what, I needed to talk with her, and I didn't want to get into like questions over the phone and stuff, so I would rather just do it in person. So once again, I made the drive there. Wasted the time, wasted the gas. Got there, and we walk out back. It basically looks like it did the first time. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. It looked the same. So I just needed to know, like, so what happened? And this is what she told me. She says, so the other guy was gonna do it, and you know, he said that he's got all the stuff to do it, and he's probably one of the best, and you know, he told me he'd do it cheap. You know, and no matter what, cheaper than you. And I'm like, oh, okay. So he's just, somebody told him something, he's a cutthroat, and he's just running around doing that kind of stuff. There's many of those guys. I'm not going to argue with somebody over a tree. That isn't mine. I care less. So have the other guy do it. Well, he's very flaky. He says, my equipment's broke down. It's in the shop. That was the first time. A few weeks later, my equipment's broke down. It's in the shop. Sets it for a week away. Then he just doesn't call. She calls. Oh yeah. Finally he answers. My equipment's in the shop. Sets it for a week after that. A week later, she calls him again, which is this would be the day she called me again for the last time. He was supposed to show up that day. No shows again. Doesn't call. She has to call him. And he still hadn't answered. And the funniest thing, really, was the part of, this was a great lady. She was incredibly nice, so like hospitable and just pleasant to be around. But she then tells me, you know, it's disgusting that, you know, someone would do that. You know, why wouldn't he call me and let me know? Why do I gotta call him? Why wouldn't he call me? I said, well, some people are different, but I would call somebody, especially if, I'm canceling. Thinking eventually she's going to acknowledge the fact that, hey, what you're angry at right now is what you did to me. You didn't call me and tell me that you had a different plan. You just let me assume because I'm only going off what you told me. And then over a month and a half later, I find out only because I came to you and knocked on your door and was just being, prompt and on schedule and everything. That's how I felt. So I found it somewhat humorous that she would be so aggravated at the situation and how she was being treated, while simultaneously looking the man in the eyes who she did this same thing to. It was never acknowledged. I hoped and I was wishing that she would acknowledge it. She never did. That is what it is. I kept my word, like I always do, and I did what I said I could do, and what I said I would do. So, sometimes I get when guys feel the need to bolster their resume and say they have more experience than they do. But I'm telling you, long term, it's better to sell yourself short. Stay safe. See you next time.